And for all the people who might watch the VOD afterwards, we're glad you're here. We're going to go ahead and ask a question here. And then we'll be live. We're doing John Hughes today. There we go. Done with that. Start that Q&A. Welcome to the Saturday morning movie chat with Raven, the movie monster, from the Movie Mirror Show. We're just getting started. So if you'd like to subscribe or like the feed or leave us a comment, that'd be great. Today we're going to start with the movies of John Hughes. I only got 5 here, but I got 5. So we're going to start with a couple of these. Can you see that? That top one is The Breakfast Club. That's what we're going to talk about. I think everybody has a character that they probably identify with in this movie. Whoops. Got to move my computer closer. Oh, I love Home Alone. That's one of my favorite ones. We were going to talk about that one today. I love that movie. Love that score. Got a favorite scene in Home Alone? Hi, everybody. Welcome in to anybody who's watching. Thanks for joining us. We're just going to talk about John Hughes movies today, so if you're interested in talking about John Hughes, go ahead and leave a comment. Let us know what your favorite movie is. Was going to talk about The Breakfast Club. Oh, thanks. I really appreciate that. I'm sorry I'm not good at saying names. I do have my glasses on today, though, so Liano, thank you. Hey, Crystal, thanks. You're welcome to stay. We can talk about John Hughes movies. I was just trying to create a space where people could come in and maybe say what they think or what their favorite is or how they feel about a specific scene. Maybe how you identified, like me as a teenager. I mean, especially The Breakfast Club. I think everybody had one character that they really identified with growing up. I think I was Allison. I was the kid who, showed up even though they didn't have detention because they were just looking for a place to belong. Home Alone is a really great movie. I think it's really well done and kind of a special movie. So definitely I watch it at Christmas, but it reminds me of my mom. I went and saw it with her in the theater when I was, I think, 12. So that was a good experience for me and a good memory. All right, let's talk about, I got here The Breakfast Club, Weird Science, I got my other two favorites are Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And then I really like Uncle Buck. And then the last movie that I had on my list was Home Alone. I think we all fantasized about being the kid who was left home alone. Ilin? Okay. That's cool. Thank you. You're welcome to come by anytime. I'm going to do this every Saturday. Just going to talk about movies. Just a cool space to talk about movies. I love them so much. So they saved my life. Anything you want to talk about with movies? Today we're just doing John Hughes, but I do like The Breakfast Club. I do like Weird Science. I think Weird Science is an underrated masterpiece. I think it's the fantasy that we all have. Hold on just one second. No worries. I'm here by myself today, so I have no moderator. But that's okay. I took care of it myself. I guess there's another word that I need to put into YouTube so it will stay out of the chat. Found a new one. There are lots of words that I have exited out. You can't leave them in the chat. So, I put them in timeout. They went into timeout because they were being mean. This is a space for people to talk about movies. You guys can be nice in the chat, talk to each other, talk to me. We're just doing John Hughes today. If anybody wants to talk about which character you identified with growing up, I was a Allison person. I think John Hughes does a good job with The Breakfast Club. I think he likes teenagers. I think he maybe even had a hard time as a teenager himself. And so it's reflective of who he is. Maybe he's all the characters. No, I don't know any Taylor Swift. I have never heard her music except for one song. And that's because my friend sent it to me and I listened to it. And I said, oh, that's good that you like that new song. I'm more of a Paris Paloma fan. She would be my choice. But I do like movies. That's why I'm here. Movies. Hello, Bentley. Hope you're having a good day. Like I said, I think Weird Science is one of those teenage movies that's brilliant. Bye. Have a good day. I think that she's pretty amazing in Weird Science. And I think it's a fun movie. If you could fulfill your wishes in such a way, would you do so? Would you create somebody that made all your dreams come true and all your wishes come true? I think that's kind of a childhood thing. And I think it's fair to ask that. especially for the generation that's asking it. And then, I don't know, what would you create if you had a computer that could just, I don't know, 3D print something that was real? I guess, like a person. What do you think back there, lady? Yeah, she's pretty tall. That's Ragnar in the background. That's the other puppet. He's not here, he's at work. And that's my Care Bear. That's a real Care Bear. Like 1983 Care Bear. I was 5 when I got it. I think Weird Science is kind of like a pure wish fulfillment, teenage wish fulfillment. I do like it as a movie. I think it's highly underrated. I think everybody looks at 16 Candles and Pretty in Pink and even The Breakfast Club and Ferris Bueller, and they kind of skip over Weird Science, but Weird Science is just pure fun. Just pure fun. I would totally print me a castle. I would have a castle to live in. I would live in my castle. I don't know what you guys would do with your computer if you could just print something or make a person, but I would definitely print a castle, live in a castle. It would be fun. I would have a good time with it anyway. I think Breakfast Club is a lot more teenage angst than Weird Science, which is why I like Weird Science. It's a little more fun. Now, I think one of his most genius movies that he ever made, which I hear was written in like one weekend. There you go. You better, Raven? Yeah, I'm good. All right. Wanted to make. Are you sure? Can you sit there? Yeah? You got it? Yeah, I'm good. I got it now. We're doing good. Anybody like planes, trains, and automobiles? That is such a fun movie. I think any movie with John Candy in it, though, gets better because he's in it. Are they perfectly opposite in the movie, Steve Martin and John Candy in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? I think it's really well done. I like Steve Martin's straight man. I think he's funny. John Candy, though, I don't know if this movie survives without him playing this part. Del Griffith is one of those special characters. I wonder if people sometimes relate because they've had a trip or they've been to some place where like things went completely off the rails and they had no idea what was happening or why everything was going wrong. The genius of The Breakfast Club, when I think about it, because I'm sitting here looking at the DVD, well, the human is looking at the DVD, I think is that the casting was pretty perfect for The Breakfast Club. And so we end up with a movie that everybody kind of identifies with. And then later we figure out all the problematic things that are in this movie. Like, I don't know, the fact that John Hughes was never very representative of other people besides white people. That's a thing. I know that a lot of people couldn't live their teenage years without having their favorite John Hughes movie. I actually don't like Pretty in Pink. I know, probably not a popular opinion, but I don't like Pretty in Pink. And the reason I don't like it is because I don't think she should be abused that way. I don't know why he writes it that way. I feel like that's abuse. I feel like that's not a thing. But anyway, I think we can also ask about the Breakfast Club. At the end of the Breakfast Club, did everybody really change? Or was it only for that one afternoon? Because that would be interesting to know. There's no sequel, so we just have to guess. I would like to believe that they stayed friends. I would like to believe that they kept hanging out with each other at the school. I would like to believe that they all hung out. But we know in the 80s, I mean, the Breakfast Club shows us that this is not really a thing. You can't really just form your own groups and have other people accept your group. What's that say? Oh, right. Yeah. And that is what happens in that detention room. But like I said, there are many things that I've had conversations with people about that problematic in this movie or other John Hughes movies. I still love him. I still think that he makes great movies. The detention room is where their masks come off. That's why they have the circle conversation and they all talk about things they would never talk about with people in their own friend group. Yeah, that's part of the whole point. They wouldn't talk about it with their friend group. And this is their new secret friend group. Detention means friend. Detention. No. You should not get detention unless you want to make friends. So again, I identified with Allison growing up, the girl who went to detention, even though she didn't have detention, just to hang out because she didn't really have any friends. Kind of a wild idea. Don't know why anybody would do such a thing, except I do. When you're lonely, there's lots of things you'll do. I think that's part of weird science too. Yeah, you got two kids who are friends, and yeah, they make a woman out of their computer, which is pretty cool. At least for the year that it was made, Weird Science was pretty cool. We didn't have CGI back in the 80s like that. Computer graphics were little fetuses. But I still think Weird Science is fun. I think Kelly LeBrock absolutely steals every scene she's in. I think underneath the silliness, we're talking about teenage angst and confidence. I think that was real for a lot of people in the 80s. I don't blame people for having this movie in their back pocket and going, yeah, I always liked that one. Not bad, though. Now I have one more word to add to the list of words. They must have tried really hard to get that comment in there, which is hilarious. If I had a computer that could create whatever I wanted, I would probably make me a castle and live in it. Don't know that I'd have any people in my castle. I don't think I would have myself a breakfast club, but I would do some weird science. I would make me a castle. But hopefully that would work out for me. What is your favorite John Hughes movie? That's what we're talking about today. And underneath all these silly movies, is there anything of value that we can relate to in our own lives? I love John Hughes. I think he's great. Not perfect, but he was great. Home Alone tends to be that one solid movie that a lot of people can enjoy. They can enjoy it around the holidays. They can enjoy it with their family. Everybody loves the story of an underdog. Underdog story. Those adults should be able to get him. And they kind of do. But that's probably the one that most people come in and say, yeah, that's my John Hughes movie, is Home Alone. Ferris Bueller, yeah, I don't really do Ferris. I don't get it. And I am aware that John wrote National Lampoon's Vacation and National Lampoon's European Vacation, and I believe National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So I believe those are all John Hughes movies as well. So there's like a lot to choose from. A lot of people like 16 Candles. I personally love The Breakfast Club. Weird Science. Trains and Automobiles has to be one of the most awesome, kind of original. I mean, I'm sure there's an older movie that kind of parodies it, or that it parodies, sorry. The ending is great, too. Love the ending of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And I think, like I said, a lot of people can relate because a lot of people have had vacations or trips that they've taken that just went wrong. John Candy is kind of perfect in it. Steve Martin is a great straight man. And if you like talking about movies on a Saturday morning with a cup of coffee, human, you have coffee. Human has coffee. Come on in and join us. We'll be sitting here on a Saturday morning, having a little coffee, talking about a few movies. Just a space where you can say hi. Just a space for people to chill. My name's Raven. I'm the movie monster. This is my channel, Movie Mirrors. We're glad you're here. Glad to see everybody. Happy to be on YouTube. Happy to be on the YouTube talking about movies. Hello, Phoenix. I hope you're having a good day. This is my space to talk about movies. If you like movies, go ahead and leave your favorite movies in the chat. Talking John Hughes today. Most people love Home Alone. Me, I'm a big planes, trains, and automobiles. With a little Uncle Buck. I like him too. I think I like John Hughes, John Candy movies. Those are kind of particularly my favorite. I do get a kick out of John Candy. He's always been fun to watch, and I do think Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is pretty brilliant. The dialogue's pretty brilliant. I hope everybody out there's having a good day. My name is Raven. I am the Movie Monster. This is my channel, Movie Mirrors, where we talk about movies. I will be on Saturday mornings, couple hours streaming, just a chill chat space for movie lovers. So if you love movies as much as I do, and you just want to have a little chat, subscribe, like the stream. That's what it is, it's a stream. I was going to call it a video. It kind of is a video, but really it's a stream. And yes, I am silly. I talk about silly movies. That's what I do. You might catch a glimpse of me every once in a while. That puppet behind me, that's Ragnar. That's Ragnar. He'll be back next week. We will be streaming on Wednesdays and Thursdays from about 5 p.m. Mountain Time to about 6 p.m. Mountain Time. We'll put out a few videos, and we love to hang and talk about movies. So, if you're into movies and you like to chat about them, leave your suggestions in the comments. Sit down, have a cup of coffee, and have a chat. I'm not going to be here to babysit everybody. Natural conversation about movies that you like. Before he makes Home Alone, John Hughes makes Uncle Buck. And who's in Uncle Buck? Uh-oh. There go my lights. I'll be right back. My lighting went out. I had to fix it. I was almost in the dark. Did you see that? It got really dark in here. Oh no! I didn't realize that was going to happen. I thought I had everything plugged in right. Whoops! Whoops! I don't know what kind of settings I have for this. So we'll go Uncle Buck, because I actually think this is a great movie. I'd absolutely love to know what everybody's favorite John Hughes movie is. Hey, thanks for those thumbs ups. That's appreciated. Hope everybody's having a good Saturday. I got a cup of coffee. Oh, sorry. Human, do you have coffee? Yes. Human has coffee, so we're good. Just sitting, chatting with a cup of coffee about some movies. I don't know that John Candy ever had to prove that he could be funny and incredibly personable and warm as a person. I think Uncle Buck is a great movie, and I know that that is where they knew that they could get Macaulay Culkin from for Home Alone. And I do love Uncle Buck. I think it's one of the better movies that John Hughes ever made. But again, I think that's a John Candy thing. I'm kind of partial to John in anything. As a kid, we watched him in Splash. He was really funny in that. He was always funny. Even in Home Alone, he gets a little part. He gets a little piece. It's kind of cool. I kind of wonder, I don't think I ever had an Uncle Buck in my life. I don't think I ever had an Uncle Buck person in my life who was kind of irresponsible, but was all of my uncles were more than responsible. So no Uncle Buck for me, but I do love the movie. I do. And I know that Home Alone comes directly after this. And even though it's not directed by John Hughes, Home Alone is distinctly a John Hughes movie. I mean, who doesn't love the giant pancake in Uncle Buck? That's so good. That's such childhood fantasy. I think that's partly why John Hughes still holds up. He's fulfilling certain types of childhood fantasies, certain types of teenage information is being given out. I mean, that's the way we really felt about each other, right? That's the only one people have come in and talked about is Home Alone. I mean, it's so much more than a Christmas movie. I mean, are we blaming the parents at all? That's okay. I got my cuppa. And I think I'm going to go get something else. It's okay if there's nobody in here. I have blocked a lot of the language, so you can't just come in here and leave nasty comments. Yeah, I think I'm going to go and get a drink, take a break, and you guys can have fun while I'm gone. All right, see you in a minute. Okay. Let me see if I can find that one other one. Isn't there another one? Hmm. Oh, it's probably in that other stack. I got all my DVDs everywhere right now, so when you got 500 DVDs and you're building the shelf, that can be really difficult because there's nowhere to put the DVDs right now. I don't have anywhere to put the DVDs right now. I'm trying to build the shelf so I can have the DVDs. I'll be damned if you'll take my physical media from me. Took me a minute. Had to get in and out of the room. Had to get on and off of the couch. Do. Well, that's not working out very well. Uh-oh, audible noise in the background. Too bad. Back now. Gonna do it. Don't care. Not made for kids. Trying not to say anything too foul. But anyway, I digress. If you are interested in talking about movies on a Saturday morning with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, come on in. I'm just here to chat about movies. Nice space where we can talk about film. And today's topic is John Hughes. I like John. I was looking for my copy of Ferris Bueller so I could show it to you. I have a copy of Ferris. It's not behind me because I looked. Nope, it's not back there. At least I got a nice place to sit. It's pretty comfy. It's in a corner. This is a corner of this room. Like a little nostalgic nook. Got posters, puzzles. I do have some games up there too. But this is my space for talking about movies. I am Raven. I am the movie monster. This is my channel, Movie Mirrors, where we talk about scenes and then we talk about reflections. How that reflects on us. Probably going to be on for a couple hours today. Got another maybe hour and 20 minutes on the stream. Just going to sit and talk about John Hughes. Unless you guys have another topic. Some movies I like, some movies I don't. I'm sure you're all the same way. Hope everybody's doing good out there in YouTube land. I hope you're all doing great. I hope you got yourself a stellar cup of coffee. Oh, hold on. All right. Yeah. Okay. She's okay. My handler. My handler's okay. She's got her coffee back. She's happier now. Gotta learn to take breaks. Gotta learn. Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me. As you walk on by, will you call my name? Oh, that's embarrassing. Maybe don't do that again. The theme to Weird Science was always pretty kick-ass. I don't know if most people know about the connections. The theme to Weird Science, written by a Mr. Danny Elfman. Yes, that Danny Elfman. The same one who teams up with Tim Burton and writes all of his scores. Kind of started out that way. Weird. I believe that Danny Elfman was the lead singer for a band called Oingo Boingo. And Paul Rubens, aka Pee Wee Herman, was a big fan. I think he believed Danny could score Pee Wee's Big Adventure before Danny even thought that he could score any movie, which is interesting. Because then Tim Burton goes on to basically use Danny Elfman in everything. But this is one of those weird instances where, like, John Hughes was like a fan of stranger music in the 80s. And so Oingo Boingo ends up getting that theme song to Weird Science. Weird. Pretty good song. Kind of makes the movie special. It has its own theme music, unlike The Breakfast Club that uses... Is that Tears for Fears? What song is that? Simple Minds. That's it. That's the band. I believe it's called Simple. It's the Simple Minds. Yeah, that makes sense. But that's interesting to me. Danny Elfman doing the song for Weird Science before he ever does any of the big scores that he does in movies. No, that wasn't interesting either. Okay. Just a movie space for movie lovers who might want to chat with a puppet on a Saturday morning, have a cup of coffee, talk about a movie. That's what we'll do. We'll have a cup of coffee, we'll talk about a movie, and you can tell me which ones are your favorites. That's what we're doing. Once again, not interested or interesting enough. Well, that's fine. We have our own thing going on. Chillaxed with coffee. Y'all have something good to drink out there, I hope. Something warm on this lovely Saturday morning. We're here in the mountains. It's nice and sunny. Good weather today. Well, better than yesterday. Yesterday was all monsoon cloudy. What's it like where you're at? It's nice here today. Yesterday, not so much. And if anyone wants to leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, or support us in any other way, we'd be happy to have you. We're just here to talk about movies. Ragnar will be back next week. He has to work on the weekends. So this is my lone Saturday stream. Just saying hi, hanging out. Got a good movie to watch. Actually, there's 3 in this package. Love me some John Hughes. Don't really care for Pretty in Pink or 16 Candles or Ferris. Ferris has issues. Major issues. But I think that when we look at Ferris, we see a lot of issues that, like, John Hughes may have had in general. He was a man of his time. I don't know that that translates too well to the 21st century. Maybe that's why he drops off. Hey, there it is. Found it. Wish I had some jokes. Next time, I guess I'll just read from a book. Could just read from a film book. Book it out. Getting to that place. Yeah, Home Alone, I think, is probably one of the better ones because it's just more than a Christmas comedy. We'll go into a deeper dive in an actual episode that we're going to do with Ragnar. Probably do that around Christmas time. But it's definitely more than a Christmas movie. I mean, Kevin does learn that he doesn't actually want to be alone and have no family. And I think that's interesting. I think John Hughes understands childhood better than some other people do. I think that's why Chris Columbus directing this movie is magic. Because Chris, I think, also has, I don't want to call it total Arrested Development, but like a type of Arrested Development. Yeah, and we won't spend too much time on Home Alone because right around Christmas time, we'll have a whole episode. It'll be fun. I think that movie, I think Home Alone deserves an entire episode where it doesn't get lumped in with other things. And we talk about one scene. But yeah, the last couple of streams were fun. Ragnar and I talked about the Beastmaster. And I did lines from it, and we had a good time. And even if we're not having fun right now, we're still talking about movies. And I wish that my own family understood that family isn't about being perfect. It's about like showing up. And when you can't get anybody to show up for you and you're having a crisis, that can be really hard. That can be really sad. It can feel really lonely. So the scene in the church of Home Alone is really good. I think the old man, Marley, is a heart in the movie. He's important. It's important that Kevin learned through this man what it means to have family, what that actually means. All right. I can do that. Taking a break. See you in a minute. Can you fix my hair? I like it when you fix. Yeah. There you go. You fix your mustache. Mustache? I ain't got no freaking mustache. She thinks I have a mustache. I'm just a monster. All monsters have mustaches. Ragnar's got an incredible mustache back there. Incredible. Love that mustache. Maybe we found one singular person today. Our goal for these streams is always going to be like 2 people. If we could get 2 people, subscribe, like the stream, that would be cool. We just want to sit and talk about movies. There's a no pressure channel. We're not going to have daily videos. We won't have a bunch of shorts. We're not asking for a bunch of support. We're asking for real people to come in and participate. If you love movies, maybe you found a corner of the internet you can hang out in. Trying to make my corner because there's no corner for me to hang out in. So here I am. I'm Raven. I'm the movie monster. This is my channel, Movie Mirrors. And this is our Saturday morning coffee chat, where we talk about movies. Today's movies are all John Hughes movies, meaning he wrote them, not that he directed them, because they're not all directed by John Hughes, but he wrote a lot of movies. So if you have a favorite John Hughes movie, you can leave it in the comments. Most people love Home Alone. I don't blame them. This is a great movie. It teaches us a lot about what we can do. The other day, we were talking about Dar in The Beastmaster. And I think Kevin actually has quite a bit to do with Dar. When he has a choice, because there are choices that Kevin can make, He makes the choice to defend his own family, to defend his own home. Those are the choices he makes. I think that is wonderful. And I think we see it in a lot of courageous acts that he takes. Of course, there's the fun of him setting up all the micro machines and having the burglars slip and fall. I think there are a lot of slapstick moments that make us laugh. But the core of what Kevin is trying to do is defend his home and his family. And I think that people really appreciate that. And they get the idea that you might change your mind after you said you wished your family was gone. That is actually probably the heart of the movie. Most people understand. You actually didn't wish to be alone and have no family. You actually wished for them to pay attention to you, for you to be recognized. And when you are constantly begging for attention, begging for somebody to see what you see or participate in what you're trying to do, it can be rough. As a little kid, being ignored means finding another outlet. For some people, that outlet is music. They go and they find bands that they like. They go to concerts. They travel around and follow a band. The Grateful Dead. For some people, it's extracurricular activities. Playing an instrument in a band or an orchestra. Being in drama club. Doing theater. Being in the choir. For some people, it's movies and television. For a lot of people of a certain generation, it is movies and television. Because those were our babysitters. Movies and TV. That's how we saw the world. That's how it was explained to us. That's why some people still espouse beliefs that they learned on TV. Some people have books. Some people have that. I was always much more of a movie kid, but I read a lot of books, even though I can't read. Yep. That's my original Care Bear in the background. That's my original 1983 Love-A-Lot bear. Pretty cool. Got some movies back there. Got one of my favorite movie posters. Don't like the movie. Love the poster. I don't think anybody really likes Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. I think they like the art. And it is art. She is beautiful. We can, huh? Anytime we want. It's not much. The Mountain Monster. Well, I'm Raven. I'm the movie monster. This is my channel, Movie Mirrors, and this is the Saturday morning chat. I'm going to take a short break. Then I'm going to come back and babble on some more about John Hughes. Anybody who wants to leave anything in the chat, leave your favorite movie suggestion. Sorry, don't review movies in the chat. No. And I'll be right back. So it's been kind of a little bit of a rough start this morning. I think that was it. So I'll try not to knock my stuff over here. Dang. Okay. Yeah, not the best start to the day. But no, still here. Haven't crapped out yet. Sorry. See, I told you you'd see me every once in a while. But this is the face of the show. This is my face. Okay, human, fix my hair. And don't tell me I have a mustache. It's all right. I don't know. It's been fun. I do like talking about movies. There you go. Should be able to sit up. It's just a thing. We'll just be here. If anybody wants to talk about movies, come on in. We'll be here. No, this won't be a live VOD. You won't be able to watch it after the fact. Why? Because why would I? Well, you know what? Maybe. Couldn't hurt. Couldn't do much. Like, literally isn't going to do anything. Not made for kids. You all right? Sure. She's stressed out. That's why I'm here. I play the part of not stressing out. I'm just a monster. A movie monster. My name is Raven. This is my channel. Is it weird? Yep. Just looking for my fellow weirdos out there. So, Home Alone, I remember going to see in the movie theater with my mom. And I'll tell you this story. My dad always took me to the theater. I can name dozens upon dozens of movies that I saw with my dad in the theater. But I can only name you 3 movies that I ever saw in the theater with my mom. My mom liked the video store. When that became available in the 80s, the video store was the place where I bonded with my mom. The theater was me bonding with my dad. So Home Alone is special. It is one of 3 movies that I can actually remember and have a memory of going to the theater with my mom. Home Alone has a sacred place in my house. We watch it every night, saying, we're going to go see this movie by himself at Christmas time. My mom never picked movies to go to the theater. My auntie always picked the movie. My mom. Still think about her when I watch Home Alone. I think that's part of the magic of movies, is that they can sit in our memory and we can have a relationship with those movies outside of the theater. We can sit with them afterwards and ask ourselves, what did that scene mean? Why did that person say that? What was that character representing for all of us? Kevin is freedom. Newfound freedom. childhood freedom. A lot of kids fantasized about not being told no. No, you can't do that. No, you ruined everything. No, don't treat your brother like that. No, don't hit your sister. No, no. And the freedom that I'm free. That's why he yelled. I mean, as an adult, when you eat ice cream for breakfast, nobody says anything to you. You can have ice cream for dinner too. You won't feel very good afterwards, but you can do it. And I think Kevin learns the hard way. And oh, isn't it so sad about Maureen O'Hara? I mean, what a great actress. All those connections that we can make with all these movies that we care about and love. And she was wonderful. Loved her. As the mom in Home Alone. Kevin! Oh, so good. Love her. John Candy gets a little part that I guess he did for almost nothing. It was like extra pay. So he was like an extra on set. So they gave him like, I think it was said less than $500. So that's interesting. And he ad-libbed everything. So that's awesome. I mean, that proof. One of the funniest people ever. Ever. John, you made us happy. One of my favorite memories of John Candy is in Thanks. They pretend to be the Swedish John Candy. I believe is saying a line from a Pronto movie. For lack of a better word. And because that's all he's ever seen of Swedish people. That's funny. Talking to you. If you're here after the fact and you're watching this, new people, we just want to talk about movies. Movies, movies, gonna talk about movies. What's the songs? Don't you forget about me. Doesn't he sing in Ferris Bueller? Isn't it like a Beatles song? Weird. Do, do, do. It's all right. Not worried about it. Still love how all the family connections connect us together. Still miss my mom. Would go back and watch Home Alone in the theater with my mom. again, if I could. Would be cool. Saw so many movies in the theater with my dad that when I watch movies, I sometimes just have memories and go, oh, I saw this one in the theater with my dad. Pretty much every great 80s movie of all time. Saw it in the theater with my dad. Except for Home Alone, which I saw with my mom. Can't believe Burst Stream Out had to put somebody in a 24-hour timeout. Came into my chat and said a word I didn't want them to say. Now I have to add it. Thanks, YouTube. Thinking about what movies I should do next week. Maybe we should talk about all these Frank Capra movies I have. Those are great movies. He was a great director. Now I look comfy. Now I look like I'm comfy. Just doing it. Gonna open a store one day. Gonna do it. Gonna have one. Gonna make it my own. And then I will go back. Maybe I should quit and restart.